everybody. Welcome to Strumming with Christopher. I'm Christopher Gallegos, Monterey County Free Library's Gonzales branch. And last video, we went over a minor pentatonic scale up here. 5 notes. Bum, 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 bum. And today, I want to show you how to extend that shape out to where you can use all 6 strings. So even though that's just 5 notes, the shape does continue. So that shape, if you're going down all 6 strings, you can essentially do 2.5 what are called octaves, which is just a fancy way of saying the same notes but lower or higher. So you start out with some low notes, and then you continue it higher. And then it kind of cuts out there at the high E. It's very powerful to have a scale shape that you can move all up and down the fretboard and utilize all 6 strings. There's a lot of people that they learn the minor pentatonic scale and that's it. And they remain in a band for decades just doing solos there with that minor pentatonic box shape. And no one ever calls them out. Listen to a classic rock group like Led Zeppelin. Everybody says, oh, Jimmy Page is amazing. Almost every solo, including some of the famous ones, Stairway to Heaven or whatever, they're minor pentatonic based blues solos. So it's a very powerful scale that you can use. Jimi Hendrix used it a lot. Clapton, all these classic rock guys, right? Blues, you hear it all the time. So it's something that's very, very powerful to have at your fingertips, so to speak. But we can't stay locked up here in this little island up here. We need to learn how to extend it. So that's what we're going to do. So just like I showed you last time, these first 5 notes, I want to go all the way down, finger by finger. I want to pay a little bit more attention to the picking this time. I didn't do it in the last video, but hopefully you have a pick. If not, you can use your thumb on the downstrokes, and you can use your index finger on the upstrokes. Not ideal, but it works for now. I'm going to use a pick. If you don't have one, don't cut your library card up, but you can find something, a hard little card that you don't use anymore, not your library card, and cut it out in the shape of a teardrop or something. That'll work until you can get a real pick. They're very cheap. If you go to a music store, you can order 100 online for like $10 or something. But yeah, pick's helpful here. So I'm going to use the pick for downstrokes and upstrokes on the way up. Just meaning you go in an upward motion and a downward motion. Okay? And so let's see how close we can get here. So we're going to start again with an A minor shape just as our base, right? So our first finger is on the 5th fret. Okay? 5th fret, low E string. We're going to play that first. That's our first note, playing a downstroke here. And then we have our pinky stretch over to the 8th fret on the low E string. And don't think you have to pick high up here. I'm just doing this so you can see it. Normally down by the sound hole. Index finger moves down to the A string, 5th fret. Then your ring finger goes to 7. And then we go down to the D string, 5th fret again. Picking downwards. And now here's where we extend it out. So then we go index finger to fret 7, just like the string above it, D string. And then we go down to the G string, again, index finger on the 5th fret. Then again, ring finger to 7. Same pattern, just going down 1 string. Then we go down to 5th fret again, index finger. Another pinky stretch to fret 8 on the B string. And then finally, high E string, 5th fret, downstroke, and another pinky stretch to the 8th. Okay, so going down, it will look and sound like this. Okay, and then kind of like we did with the first video about this, we want to go back up just so we're familiar up and down with it. And this time we'll be playing up, 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 upstroke, or with the index finger, up, 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 if you need to do that. So we end with our pinky on the 8th fret on the high E, and we're going to pick up. Okay, 8th fret, high E string, index finger to the 5th fret. And then another stretch B string, 8th fret pinky, index finger 5th, and then up to the G string, it's going to be the 7th fret ring finger, 5th fret index finger, go up to the D string, 7th fret ring finger again, and index finger, exactly the same, just one string up. Okay, and then A string, 7th again, 7th fret, and then index finger 5th again, A string, and then on the low E back to the pinky stretch to 8th fret, and then 5th fret. Okay, so we have that pinky stretch on 3 strings, the low E, and then the B, and the high E. Okay, but otherwise it's just that 5-7, 5-7, 5-7. So you see how it's a box shape. And then up. And that shape, once you get comfortable with that shape, again, you can still do that thing where you want to focus on the left hand and just go up and down. If you want a real challenging exercise, you can start at the 1st fret, which is an F, and you can move that shape all the way down. And then down to 2. Just go all the way down and up, doing that shape, all 6 strings, up and down strokes on the way down, up strokes on the way up. That's a heck of an exercise to get your hands warmed up, both hands. And you'll get that muscle memory. So scales are not that, they're not that exciting at first, but then once you learn them, just like chords, you realize, okay, step 1, muscle memory, fingers and brain, get that shape. And then second step is you start getting to a point where you can play the notes in different orders. So we're not there yet, but you might decide you want to, well, I know the fingering. Let me see if I can mix up the notes. That's really what a guitar solo is. And that's basically what every guitar solo quote is. And that's also how melodies start. That's how every melody is started. You take a scale, so you have that sequence, and you say, well, I can play it up and down on my instrument, whatever instrument that is, but let me start mixing up notes, and then you end up creating something catchy, and there you go. That's every rock song in history, right? That's every children's melody, lullaby. We have the Minor Pentatonic Scale at our fingertips. And that's something to practice, so I hope you practice that initial shape last episode, and now we have the full shape that you can move up and down, and you don't have to start with the A as your bass. That's just my example because it's easy to see on camera, and it's kind of in the middle of the fretboard. Feels good, sounds good, but you can start seeing what sounds good to you, and just, yeah, give that shape a go. You're going to feel it. You're definitely going to feel it because we, up to this point, have been just doing chunks of notes with chords, but this one really forces your fingers to work individually, and it's a different skill set than chords, and I'm glad we're finally into it and digging in. So next time we'll talk a little bit about some advanced ways you can put these notes together as we continue with our study into melody. Thanks everybody for your time as always, and thank you for tuning in over and over and over. I appreciate all of you, and hope you're getting some good things out of these videos. See you soon.